name is Joshua, and I normally live in Cyprus, have for the past 4 years or so. Well, I'm here to tell the story of my son Gabriel. One day my son woke up crying because he had pain in his leg, and my wife found a lump in his leg that was the size of an egg. He had cancer, and not just any cancer, it was a very aggressive, fast-moving cancer. In the States, they would have, within a week, done a biopsy, but because they have a way of doing things there, it took about 3 weeks. We were in the hospital, they were trying different antibiotics, and nothing was working. It was getting worse. Finally, they did a biopsy, discovered what it was, and began the chemotherapy, but at that point it was really too late. By that time, cancer was everywhere, in his bones, kidneys shutting down, liver the doctor told me afterwards that if he only had the complication with his liver, then he would have less than 1% chance of living. So the liver condition was that serious. Because of the complications with the liver, and also because the tumors were putting so much pressure on his lungs, he couldn't breathe. He was sedated on full oxygen. His heart was beating 190 beats per minute, which to me, that's above my maximum heart rate, right up there. But he was on 100% oxygen. They had it turned up as high as it can go. They were giving drugs to keep the heart pumping, but it was rapidly declining. And they said he's got many different complications, but his heart's giving out. There's nothing more we can do. They said, look, take your family in and you need to say goodbye to him, because any minute he's going to pass on. He was going to die. So we took our family. We said goodbye. It was one of the most difficult times in my life. And the remarkable thing to me in all of this trial was actually the moment that we were saying goodbye. I just remember looking at my wife, and at that moment we both, and she tells the same story, felt the peace of the Lord like just a wave coming over us, and it was like, it's going to be okay, And we fully thought he was going to die. They were telling us he was going to die. A pediatric oncologist who had for decades done this exact work, seen the same kind of thing. He said, he told us he was going to, that was it. And so we said goodbye. My wife is very big on Facebook, and I'm a little bit on Facebook, and she had been updating people all over the world, and we heard stories after this happened that people would wait. They wouldn't go to bed until they saw an update. They would, or they'd get up really early first thing and go to Facebook to see what was happening. So she alerted everybody on Facebook that this was happening, that it was probably it. And we were told people from 90, almost 100 countries were praying for us. So the next day we go into the meeting with the doctors, just fully expecting them to say, all right, any minute. And so we went in, and it was kind of an odd ambiance. There was this kind of something going on, and we could tell when we walked in. And so we walked in very somber, and the doctor, the lead guy, he started talking, and he says I've been a doctor for decades, pediatric oncologist, and I've never seen anything like this. But we did the same test on his heart, and it's normal. Normal, and I said, normal like a kid with cancer? He says, no. If I were to get a 3-year-old that's healthy off of the street and do the same test on him, this is what your son's heart is like. And we were just like, what? They say, we don't understand it. And all the doctors are sitting in there, and they're all specialists who've trained in Germany and England and Greece and other places. And they just didn't know what was going on. I said, let me tell you what's going on. I said, we have people from all over the world that are praying for this boy, and God answered their prayers in a clear. He doesn't always choose to answer that way. He's good no matter if he decided to take Gabriel. We know he's a good God. We know that he loves us. And then he loves Gabriel more than we love him. But the fact that he answered that prayer in just a clear, there's no denying. Anybody, you can't deny it. It was clearly of the Lord. And something that he did, and just throughout this entire process, this is one of the miracles that we've seen. And we've seen not just one, many miracles. I mean, I could talk for 24 hours telling you miracles that the Lord has done in my son's life. But it's just a testimony of the Lord's faithfulness, just a remarkable story. To me, even more remarkable than the healing is the peace that he gave to the child's two parents when we fully expected that he was going to